Hi, I'm Bruce Roseland. I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to read you three poems. The first poem is from The Last Buffalo, which won a Wrangler. It's the first book I wrote. The poem is about my great grandmother Elizabeth. She and her husband Gabe were one of the first settlers in Fauquier County in South Dakota. Um, it's a story of her first year, and uh, I think it's kind of a story of what a lot of people overcame in their own particular way. Kind of showed the grit that they had and the kind of grit that they handed on to each generation forward, to our generation, in which we handle our own trials and tribulations. Uh, Elizabeth, women in the old family photographs looked old, at an age long before what we now call old. My great grandmother Elizabeth was a bride of 3 months when her clothes caught fire. Gabe, her husband, tore the clothes off her back, saving her life. They'd been burning hay for fuel in their soddy. She laid on her stomach for 6 weeks in a neighbor's shack with lard on her burns to heal them. The scars remained for the rest of her life. She had lost all her household contents. It was October. As winter came down, Gabe built another soddy. They continued into 52 years of marriage. They had 12 kids, all of whom lived. Nowadays, few brides stay on the farm. They soon make a beeline for the nearest town. A second income pays the bills, buys the sports utility wheels, and it's just about the only way to get health insurance. In the good old days, all some could do was be strong and endure. Like I said, we owe a lot to that generation, and I think it keeps being paid forward. The next poem I'm going to read is from Cowman. Came out last year. This won a Will Rogers Award. This is month has been the time of COVID, and many of you are sheltering in place or doing the best that you can. I find it a little bit ironic because every late March and April, I kind of shelter in place too. Normally, it's part of my occupation. My calving season, I hardly ever even leave the place. I just, calf the cows out. But it's also one of my most favorite times of the year. And because there's no gray, it's either black or white this time of the year, and that's because of the thing I'm occupied in my occupation, which is keeping these animals alive. So the poem's called Calving Season. A time of the year when our world makes total sense is calving. New life born in straw, dirt, and birthing fluid. The stuff of life. A time when the choice is made to fight for life. No to be or not to be. From the first gasp of air into the newborn's lungs, that question is settled. Next poem I'm going to read is from, my next book. The This is the manuscript. Working title is Heart of the Prairie. And I'm going to read a poem that, let us call it a fable, a prairie fable. The title of the poem is Before eHarmony. A woman lost her husband. They had homesteaded on the prairie, far, far from any town. She had little, but she had enough to keep her tending chickens and cows. Although no children filled her days, she grew lonely. As she watched the tumbleweeds bouncing and rolling forever, one windy day she tied a note onto a big tumbleweed that said, "Need company?" She set it free on a westbound wind, watching it race away and disappear across unfenced land. Weeks later, a trail-worn cowboy stopped by, tipped his hat, while holding the note in his hand. She sized him up. Maybe, just maybe, her shiny night. I thank you. Have a good day. Stay safe. Bruce Roseland.